Hello, this is the assessment station. During this station, we're going to assess for a trauma patient. Patient will normally be unresponsive during the station. We will have an examiner or a TA or an instructor will read a brief patient scenario. We will then go through the whole entire assessment, treating for any life threats, and transporting the patient to the hospital.
You are presented with a 24-year-old patient that fell from a height of greater than 15 feet and was found unresponsive by coworkers.
Okay, at this time, scene safety BSI for me and my partner. I would then direct my partner to go ahead and hold C-spine while I go ahead and check for the level of consciousness. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Do a sternum rub or a trapped pinch? Do I get any response?
You do not get a response.
Okay, the patient is now unresponsive on our apnea scale. This time I want to open his airway, looking for an airway, but I want to open his airway using the modified jaw thrust, looking in his airway, also looking for any secretions or any teeth or anything else in there.
You find a clear airway.
We have a clear airway. This time I want to go ahead and measure and apply an OPA. So also I'm going to look, listen, feel for breathing. Do we have breathing, sir?
You have breathing.
Okay. At this time I'm also going to check for pulse.
You have a pulse.
I have a pulse. Excellent. Now I want to go ahead and check for a sticky test, going down the whole body, checking to make sure that he has no major bleeding going on. Looking at my gloved hands every time I bring them out to make sure that there's no blood. Checking the whole entire body. Do we have any blood?
You find no signs of gross hemorrhage.
Oh, that's great. Now I want to go ahead and peel back my hand. I want to check for skin temperature and condition.
He is cool to touch.
Okay. At this time, I want to go ahead and apply oxygen at 100% by a non-rate breather. We have a breathing rate and quality rhythm.
The rate is 22 and shallow.
Excellent. This time I also want to open up his chest, make sure there's no major chest injury. I'm also going to listen to lung sounds.
You find no deformities and you have clear lung sounds bilaterally.
Roger that. At this time, we're going to make our decision to transport with an ALS intercept to the most appropriate hospital. Now we want to go into our physical examination. We're going to start at our head, working down to our feet, checking a BCAP BTLS to make sure that we haven't missed anything. So as I come up to his head, I want to palpate his entire skull, to the back of his head, make sure that I feel every part of his body, his head, make sure there's no bruises, contusions, abrasions, burns, tenderness, or palpitations.
No deformities were noted.
Roger that. I want to check his eyes, see if there's any raccoon eyes, also look at his pupils with a pen light.
You have equal reaction to light.
Okay, look in his ears for any blood, both ears. Also looking for battle signs.
No battle signs and no fluids in his ear canals.
Roger that. So now I want to take the mask off, look in his mouth, make sure it's still clear and patent.
You have a clear airway.
Good, I put the mask back on, moving down to his neck, feeling the back of his neck for any step-offs or any deviation.
No deformities noted.
All right. Look at his trachea and look for JVD for any signs of distress.
No JVD and trachea is midline.
At this time, I will have my partner go ahead and measure and apply a collar. I want to go ahead and move down to his shoulders, check for the shoulders, make sure that there's no deformities or contusions or abrasions.
None noted.
Okay, with the prayer-like hands, I'm going to press down on the sternum, make sure it's intact.
Sternum is intact.
I want to go ahead and feel his ribs coming all the way up, make sure there's no deformities noted or crepitus.
Rib cage is intact.
Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and check all four quadrants of his abdomen, make sure that it's firm and non-distended.
No rigidity noted, no palpable masses.
Okay, this time I'm going to go ahead and move down to his pelvis. I'm going to squeeze in and down, make sure his pelvis is intact.
You feel crepitus.
There's crepitus. At this time, I would have my partner go ahead and put a binder splint on him. I want to go ahead and move down to his genital area. If it's a male, I'll look for priapism, and for a female, I would look for any discharge. I'll go ahead and squeeze from the back to the front of his leg, looking for any crepitus or deformities.
No deformities. No.
Checking for his patella that's intact. Check the legs. Check for distal pulses.
You have a distal pulse.
Okay. This time, also check for a Lubitsky test. Make sure that it works.
You have a good Babinski results.
Okay, I will then walk around to the other side of my body, go ahead and check the other leg. squeezing in, checking for a patella, lower leg. Have I found anything?
No deformities noted.
Okay, check for distal pulse and a good Levinsky test.
Both are good.
Okay, this time I'm going to check his arms. Checking, squeezing, making sure that there's no crepitus or deformities noted.
No deformities noted.
Check for a pulse. Check for cap refill.
Good capillary refill and good radial pulses.
Check his other arm for the same thing. All good.
Good radial pulses.
At this time, we will prepare the patient to a log roll with an appropriate amount of people, having a minimum of 3 people, always on the headman's count. Bring his hands up. We're going to have one person here, one person here, interchanging hands, rolling them up. So with that in place, we're going to ahead and roll them up on my headman's count. 1, 2, 3, comes up. I want to then help, I want to piano down the spine, feeling all his vertebrae, make sure nothing's out of place.
You feel step-offs in the area of T1 and L5.
Roger that. We'll note that. I also want to listen to lung sounds while I'm here in all 6 spots.
You have clear lung sounds.
Okay. I want to also look for any JV or any GI bleeding or rectal bleeding.
No bleeding noted.
Anything in back of the legs.
Back of the legs are clear.
At this time, we'll insert a backboard and we'll place him onto a backboard. Now that he's secured to the board, we also want to get a good set of a sample history if one's available, as well as a good set of vital signs.
Co-workers report to you that they think that he's very healthy. They don't know him to take any medications.
All right. I also noticed that there was no medical alert tags or tattoos on his body saying that he had a medical condition. This time I'm going to go ahead and check for a blood pressure.
Your blood pressure is 80/50.
Okay. I'm also going to check for pulse, the carotid and radial, compared to see if there's any shunting of the blood yet.
You have no differentiation between the carotid or radial, but you note that the pulse is in the hundreds and it is weak.
Roger that. I'm also going to have a pulse ox if I have one. I would go ahead and check that. I'm also going to then start my initial transport to the hospital, see where the ALS unit is coming from.
ALS says they will meet you en route.
Roger that. We'll find a spot to intersect with them. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a full physical exam if time allows. I'm also going to recheck any injuries that I found. I'm also going to reassess vital signs as we go, every 3 to 5 minutes for an unstable patient.